Welcome to Alex and the Show. We're inviting you to join us in exploring nerdiness in all its forms as we discuss sci-fi, fantasy, stories, and community. Alex and the Show will focus on how we bring people together and make a special place for Black nerds or blurs and all nerds in general. We hope to add to the culture by discussing all things nerd from a Afrofuturist mindset. We want to discuss our love of nerd culture in a way that assumes Black people and all people of color belong, are valued, and add depth to the stories being told. Join us no matter where your nerd love takes you. We'll be discussing it all: Star Wars, Star Trek, board and video games, TV and movies, moments and movements in the culture, with as much coolness as we can muster. Today, we'll be continuing a conversation we had at AfroCon around sinners. If you haven't seen that, be sure to visit the House of Afro Capes and Curls YouTube page. In that conversation, we talked about all the things the vampires represented in the film. We're going to flip the script in this conversation a bit and talk about Black vampires in film. There are so many examples, and today I want to get your take on the best movies featuring Black vampires. So, but first I thought it'd be interesting to talk about the history of vampires and why Black vampires make such an impact. Vampire lore and stories can be found in every culture, on every continent, with many different characteristics. We are probably pretty familiar with the lore surrounding Dracula in Transylvania, but did you know about the lore coming from West Africa, from Ashanti culture called the Oba Ifu? I think I said it right. The Oba Ifu is a kind of human vampire whose chief delight is to suck the blood of children. Chief delight. When traveling at night, they emit a phosphorescent light and have sharp, shifty eyes. And that's just one example.
It's terrifying.
There are many differences between the stories originating from Europe and the many different stories from African societies. But I think understanding that stories of monsters or vampires are not unique to just one culture gives us space to think about the ways these themes have been portrayed in a lot of American media. I think it makes it even more important for us to think about the impact of Black vampires on culture and how people in the future can incorporate these African stories too. So guys, I gave you a lot there. Have you ever heard of the Oba Ifu?
No.
No? No?
How much more of that do you have?
I have quite a few things that got super, in true nerd culture, I definitely did some research to learn about whether or not Black vampires were a thing from time immemorial. I don't know if that's the way I should use that phrase. And they are they're not the traditional things that we think of that we've been introduced to here in America from Europe, but the idea of sucking blood, living off blood is very common across all cultures. Gross. And that there's quite a few examples from different African cultures. I did that one because of the funny chief delight. I was like, that's a weird way to say they kill children. That's their most favorite thing to do. So that's why I chose that one. But there's so many examples. And what was making me think is that sometimes when we think about Black vampires, it feels like they're so outside the norm. But this is all made up. So we can have Black vampires if we want. And they don't have to be like Twilight vampires. They happen to be brown skinned because you guys are going to get me going. Twilight is a terrible series, a terrible property.
You said we're going to get you going.
Yeah, y'all didn't say nothing.
Self-starting engine.
No one co-signed, so I was like, I got to prove my point. I won't do it. Thank you for going down that rabbit hole with me. But when you guys think about Black vampires, what impact does it have on the way you think about horror and that kind of maybe bigger picture of how we include Black folks in these themes?
I've got to admit, this is a topic on which I'm very thin. So vampires in general, there's kind of a power and exploitation sort of thing going on. I don't know how much Black people are in the position
interesting
that it's a natural storytelling spot for us. But
that's a great thought. That's a great point. That power imbalance that's kind of natural to a vampire is not easily written onto the Black experience here in America is
the point I'm getting at.
Okay, Marcus with a theory. That's Dr. Marcus. That's really that's really deep and interesting.
Don't send me back to school.
Don't do it. What about you, Alex? What do you feel like the impact of including Black folks in this genre of horror?
I think just in general, when we're talking about the American, or Western folklore monsters, you have the Frankenstein, which is the science fiction story gone wrong. You have the werewolf, which is the wilds type of story gone wrong, and then you have this vampire story, which is like really what I like, which is about this like subset culture of like things. I like stuff like that because no matter what you do, when you introduce that into something, we're talking about the politics, we're talking about the culture, we're talking about the history and the legacy. And I think when we talk about Black people in reference to those, even any three of these monsters, we're also talking about a different type of invasion, right?
Okay.
Not to like touch into white flight, but just kind of in that way where when the other is already the other, then you either can like really dig into that and make them like this extreme monster, or you can like, you know, go under the expectations and make him scary in like a different kind of way, you know?
So the argument you're making is when we include people of color, Black folks into these tropes that are already othered, we get a magnitude of that kind of, that idea of othering. And there's a way that we've seen that be treated.
Yeah, it lets you flip it, you know?
Jade, your face is doing something?
Oh, because we're talking about vampires.
We were warned.
Thank you. I was like,
I was born too late.
but I mean, just maybe you don't have a specific vampire to reference, but I do think that what Alex and Marcus have said is really interesting around thinking about what horror means in our community, you know, in the culture, and what that othering, power dynamics, the idea that, and where do Black people fit in with those things. I'm gonna leave you alone, Jade, but start thinking about your some favorite things that you could bring up.
The flashes she's getting, it just seems traumatic. She's just like, you see that the meme with the math is just like.
I know a lot.
Yeah.
They're all flashing through my mind right now.
Yeah.
I think that it is an interesting idea to ponder.
Yeah.
The idea of Black vampires in this world that is constructed where they are ageless, so that they can move through time and have power over people, but still need to remain hidden.
Yeah.
Because they are not defenseless. Like they can be defeated, they can be killed. Okay. So they're still under, you know, they still have to stay under the radar.
And there's like an overlap with just the Black experience in general around that. Did I add that to what you said?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. I thought that's what I heard, but okay. Maybe I added it. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I'm gonna ask an easy question now, guys, since that felt intense. What is a favorite vampire movie, and then especially what's a favorite Black vampire?
My answer for both is Sinners, because my list of vampire movies I've seen is one.
No,
I don't like them. There's
Blade, Blackula.
It's been so long since I saw Blade.
Really?
Yeah.
I watch Blade.
What, like
on a Tuesday,
every year? Just like
yeah.
I have a friend like that. Loves
I love Blade. When he does his sword, okay, I won't do it. I won't do it to you guys. No, literally. Okay, Sinner. I'm not here to judge.
What is maybe wrong with you too?
Oh, sorry. If I want to see Wesley Snipes, I'm watching Demolition Man.
Fantastic movie. Vampires, favorite vampires, Black vampires.
Vampires, I would say What We Do in the Shadows.
Fantastic show.
Because What We Do in the Shadows is completely about the culture of vampires and about removing the scariness and veil of what you believe a vampire to be. Because at the end of the day, you spend 24 hours with somebody, regardless of who they are, where they come from, they are no longer scary. You know, and that's kind of what the show is. These 4 roommates of vampires are paying rent.
Yeah.
And they gotta get it how they live, you know, but they still suck blood, which is sort of
And
a
they're
problem.
relatively incompetent.
Yes, and they're relatively incompetent.
They're not really good at this.
It's great. It's a great show.
I think I could watch that.
No, you could. That one you
Okay.
could. It's a comedy first.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a comedy first. And very little, and they're just not great vampires.
Yeah.
They would like to be great, but
I would say Interview with a Vampire, Vampire in Brooklyn,
fantastic.
with Eddie Murphy.
Fantastic.
That movie isn't scary, but it touches on that like uncanny valley
Yeah.
between this like just really creepy and like
Yeah.
you know
It made me tense.
yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I don't like Eddie like this.
And what was the third question?
That's the second. No, those two.
Just two.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Vampire, black vampire.
Okay. I don't like,
Stretching. Stretching.
don't like vampires
She says
the
again.
most of all. But I do love What We Do in the Shadows. I love the movie. I love the television show. I could watch it. You never watched the movie?
I didn't watch the movie.
The movie's really good.
And I'm
Okay.
going to go that there are people of color in the cast. Yes,
Blade
Taika
makes-
Waititi is
yeah.
in the cast.
Blade makes an appearance.
And Jermaine Clemens. So they're the creators of the movie, and Jermaine is part Aboriginal. So I'm going to say they're people of color.
Yeah.
So I love What We Do in the Shadows. I also, even though I don't like vampires, especially ones that sparkle, because that doesn't make any sense.
Twilight.
I
Love
do
Twilight.
have an affinity for Interview with the Vampire.
Yes. You think that you would sparkle them?
No, I would not sparkle.
okay. I was like, what is happening?
no, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Why would
okay.
I sparkle.
That's what I thought you were saying.
No.
And I was like, false.
Vampires don't sparkle.
And neither do, yeah.
No. I do have an affinity for Interview with the Vampire.
Fantastic.
And adjacent to that, Black story by Anne Rice, Feast of All Saints.
Interesting.
Yes. See, I took it and I spun it over to another
Yes.
place.
Okay, we appreciate you.
Yes.
Content. Yeah, I Interview with the Vampire. This new remake they've done with that very pretty man is fantastic. It's very scary. It's very intense. Makes me very uncomfortable, but I continue to watch it. Blade, which we'll talk about more in depth, so get ready. Because it's a great example of a black vampire, but it also deals with some of the things I want to talk about. Let's just do that now. Let's just go right into that right now, guys. Blade. Why is it your favorite?
Yay or nay?
Yeah. Why? Well, no. Why is it your favorite? Because that's actually the only acceptable answer.
qualifier.
Right. That's the only acceptable answer. And kind of the other question I have around it is like, while it wasn't super explicit about him being a black vampire, but he was othered. What feelings does that give to you guys? I can talk first. Should I?
Please do.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna, yeah.
You're going in? I thought it was so interesting. Wesley Snipes, I think, is an actor who very rarely deals with being black in the film. So I think that's part of what it is and why I'm kind of excited about like if Mahershala Ali does remake it, I think they will deal with that in a different way. But I think in the original Blade that we have now, the Daywalker aspect of being othered and him being like better than the other vampires is kind of like entwined with him being a black man in this culture. And I enjoy him having to struggle with that. I think a lot of times like you want to be part of the culture, you don't want to be part of the culture, and that gives you some kind of like better than feeling. I think we see it a lot of times like with like not to get political, but with politicians who have like done something and be black at the same time. You're like, that's relatively regular, in fact, and I just think like I don't know. I love that struggle. I love him being othered and thinking and what that means for how he exists in the world. But it also causes him to shut down. He's like, I don't care about anything. I'm just this hardcore vampire who's better than the other vampires. But feelings are stupid. And you're like, well, then what are we doing this for? Like what, then go home. Like go, but there's some need for him to be connected to society that he doesn't deal with, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Blade is fantastic. Watch it, guys. We'll all watch it this weekend since we're talking about it.
I don't want any space between your answer and adversarial Alex. Straight.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Just to like, elaborate on the other being in the other spaces. Blade has this. Okay. Marvel loves to write about oppression. Okay. That's their favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
X-Men, oppress. Blade is a vampire in a world where he's the other because he's a daywalker, but not othered because he's black. Where now we've somehow achieved the dream, no more oppression,
He's
you know, human. Is he biracial?
Because his,
We don't know. I don't know that we know he's biracial.
I'm saying that the vampirism is,
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Wouldn't
Because he's half human, half vampire.
wouldn't that be species versus race?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Technical.
yeah.
Could be like a hybrid.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I don't like
Okay.
hybrid. I don't know. There's something.
See?
There's something.
See,
There's something I don't like.
getting
There's
dangerous.
something I don't like about hybrid. But
Marvel loves oppression. And there's just something where Marvel is able to write these stories where you root for the hero even when he's not the everyman. You're not a daywalker vampire and also the everyman in the story, but he's able to do like, you know, the cool brooding thing that like we associate with blackness.
that's what I wanted to say. Like he's so emotionless and tough.
Yeah.
Like that's where his black is like, I'm super cool. You're like,
It's weird.
You're missing out.
It's kind of strange
Yeah.
that like other than like What We Do in the Shadows is that one black character in What We Do in the Shadows where he's not cool. He's like a nerdy superstore clerk. But other than him, every black vampire has to be like cooler than every other vampire, which already is like a level of cool
Right.
if you're like a vampire, but black vampires have to be like
Which I think
here,
is actually
you know?
realistic. I think we would get cooler and cooler in centuries. Okay, but that might be.
although
Yeah.
my favorite iteration of Wesley Snipes as Blade is in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Because he's meeting with
Versus-
the High Council
Yeah.
on the Zoom.
Yeah, he's on
and
Zoom.
he
Yeah.
can't
He can't.
work out
He
the
can't
Zoom
make it
very well.
For one, he can't make it
Yeah.
to the meeting, and everybody's mad because Blade thinks he's better than everybody because you don't have to physically be at the meeting.
It's such a.
And he's the one that could go out in the day.
Yeah.
And as they're trying to like get this discussion going, like Jade said, his Wi-Fi doesn't work, and so they're like, Blade, you need to fix your Wi-Fi, and he's like, hey, don't tell me to fix my Wi-Fi, man. I got the best Wi-Fi. And it's like they're vampires. We all suck blood. We all live in like a culture of bloodsuckers, and we just can't get the Wi-Fi to work. The show is just, it's good. But stuff like that is like, Blade is known for being too cool for school, and I kind of don't like that about like not Blade, but like
genre.
like black vampires have to be like, I don't know. We also have to be Michael Jordan as vampires as well.
You
It's
don't
like,
want
you know.
sunglasses and a sword and a cool haircut.
Yeah, you know what I'm
gotta have all
saying.
of it.
It's like he's like
I loved it.
Even when you get beat up, you gotta
he'd be
get
a
beat
joke
up
if
pretty.
he couldn't murder you.
Yeah, I
like if he
love
didn't, you know.
And who's beating up Blade? Not anybody
Nobody,
right now.
which is
Yeah.
why he's allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You know, same with Jackie Chan. He's a joke, but he's not a joke though.
Right.
Don't.
mess with
It's funny until he's not laughing.
That's so funny. Yes, I think the Blade movies are like quintessential character-driven movies. Like the plots are less important than like going along the ride with Blade and like seeing him progress and like get to his goal, the hero's journey. And I just love that for him. I think especially being a black character who isn't dealing with like oppression that from his blackness just makes it that much more fun. And that's why I'm like, I really want them to redo it and like
I
say
think
it
that's
out
what
loud.
makes it hard. I think that's what's going to make it hard to make a movie about Blade is that for so much of those three movies and for so much of Blade's like canonical
Existence,
history,
yeah.
he's like a solo character with a solo comic.
Yeah.
And if Blade shows up, it's a really like unorthodox appearance
Yeah.
because of how solo dolo
Yeah.
he is. And I think in a universe where we have all these
Interesting.
characters that
Oh.
kind of have to work together, you need to make a universe around Blade the way that mutants have a universe around them.
But it's doable. We have Daredevil, we have Jessica Jones, we got, until we have Iron Fist, which is a huge mistake.
Let's not talk
I
about
think
that.
we should connect Moon Knight and Blade in the way that both of these deal with like otherworldly things that are happening like behind your eyes. Like they're happening in society, but you just don't happen to see them.
Yeah.
If we can get them, and then what's the other one? Werewolf by Night.
Tell me
I know
more.
a lot of people didn't watch it.
I did watch that.
And I wish people watched it because people like Marvel doesn't put out any original content, but that was very good.
that was
it was
wild.
very good.
Mark said, I didn't say good.
It was very good.
Mark.
It was good. It's
Okay.
just different. It's very different from
Werewolf
Marvel.
by Night. Okay.
Yes, but those three characters, I think could make this kind of nice triad of this kind of like mini universe of like monsters.
I don't want it. I want Blade, and I want Blade rebooted. Thank you very much.
Who are they going to get to write this? I mean, Ryan Coogler still has his Wakandan handcuffs on.
Stop making Ryan Coogler.
This feels like a different soapbox. This
I'm
feels like
just
a different
saying,
soapbox.
Dude has a
we do
list.
this with
It's
every
very
character. We do
short.
this with everyone. Denzel Washington,
No.
I said,
Jamie
don't-
Foxx.
I said, don't get on that soapbox. Thank you. Jake, what would make you love vampires?
Ooh.
What could make you love them?
Okay. So the thing that I like about What We Do in the Shadows is that they are not threatening. I'm not afraid of those. There's no fear
They are
because they are violent,
Yeah.
but it's justifiable violence when they exact it.
Okay, but wait a second. They still eat people.
They're vampires.
Yeah, they still eat people.
They're vampires.
And some of these people
It's
just
not
be around.
ethical just because they choose when to use violence is not ethical.
And it's not. Yeah, they be killing folks. She had her whole club was luring folks in so they could eat them.
Yeah. I mean, no.
Okay,
Nadia.
but
I
I think
love
what
Nadia.
you're saying though is character driven.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I can let you
New
have
York
that.
City.
Like, do you
I
have
love them.
Do you have to
They
extract the
can do no
blood
wrong.
directly? Because I mean, why didn't you just like open a clinic? You've got like hundreds of years to
According to
build
vampire-
medical knowledge.
And vampire lore tells you it's just not as good.
It's not
And
not as good.
every meal's terrible. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, also,
could be
a big
fresh.
thing in What We Do in the Shadows is working hours, which are 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night. And because they're vampires, everything they do has to start like 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's
Which means that,
perfect.
like-
We should definitely run the overnight urgent care because you only get the weirdest case.
You want the police to show up really
I do
bad.
not want the police to show up.
The police absolutely
dare
will
you.
show up.
Okay.
Fine,
Okay.
fine. The police can show up if they also want to donate.
I have another show.
Okay, I'm interested.
There are black people in it.
Oh, see, it doesn't qualify.
They could.
You could.
Let's see.
Discovery of Witches.
What
What is
media
that?
are you watching?
Yeah,
Is that
my
an
brother
anime?
made me watch that.
Do you
And
have Tubi?
It's only it's
It's
how many
on, it
seasons
was on
it?
Showtime. It was
Showtime.
Yeah, my
Three
brother made me
seasons?
watch that. But what, vampires?
so in Discovery of Witches,
Yeah.
there are witches, vampires, and demons, which are like fairies.
Yeah.
Most of the fairies are black people and brown people. And there is this book that has been discovered that can, if one of them, either the demons or the vampires or the witches get it, they can understand the knowledge of creating the other and then have power over them. It's very much
thought
a
it was-
political.
Yeah.
There's the council. There's family allegiances, and there's a whole. I mean, it's
So
beautifully
that's
done.
another one that's like they happen to be those characters. They happen to be vampires. They happen to be witches. But really, the show is about the political drama,
Yes.
and that's how you can like a vampire.
Yes.
Is if you can forget they're a vampire.
yes.
Okay, well, that's one way to do it. I don't know where to take this conversation.
What about I Am Legend?
It's a zombie.
I Am Legend, the book, is about vampires.
Did not know.
And we do not say that he's black, which is what I wanted to ask about. Do they count as black characters if they've been retconned to be black characters? Because Will
This
Smith,
is such an interesting conversation because what is a black character, right? Like, is it a black person playing a character or is it like a character who is being black? Are those different sentences? How do you guys feel?
You're saying, do they have to deal with being a black person in America
Yeah.
in the time period in whichever
Yeah.
the movie takes place?
Or
because
is it enough to
there has
just
never
present?
been a fantastically great time to be a black person in this country.
What? That's not what
just
you're telling
saying.
me. What do you think? Yeah.
I will say this and I will say nothing else.
Look very
Okay?
nervous again. Look at the camera.
Ironheart is terrible content.
Oh my God.
Okay? For this reason, you can't simply put black people into spaces and have them exist, which is fine. I'm not saying that black people can't Black Boy Be Free and all, frolic and all that stuff. But to satiate us with representation and then not use that representation to actually forward a narrative or I can't remember what the other word is, but to try to use that story to achieve something. I feel like Ironheart is one of those characters where she's black of no consequence.
Okay.
And I don't enjoy the show because of that.
He knows what he's doing to us. He knows he knows how we feel about Ironheart, and he wants us to, but we're not going to, because we're talking about black vampires today. But one day we will deal with what Alex has just said. Just know that, everyone, that one day he will pay for those comments. Vengeance will be mine, she says. But back to what we were talking about. But I do think there's something to be said in conversation with that about, like, what do characters owe us in their blackness? And I don't have an answer for that. There are things that I prefer, but what does it, who gets to decide that, I think, is a really interesting question. Okay, we can leave it alone. I'll let y'all.
It's a large question.
Yeah.
I think what's most important is who is the storyteller and what is the story being told.
And I think that gives more leeway to let them do it the way they want to do it. If I can be like, well, I see you have a story to tell versus like, this character is going to be black, and that's the end of your storytelling, guys. Thank you so much for indulging for letting me force you into Black horror conversations over the month of October. We will stay away apparently for until the next year. So prepare yourselves for October 2026, where you will again be talking about this. But in the meantime, stay nerdy, Omaha.